I would rather have my arse excavated by a wild ferret than go through that again. Oh, no, God help me. I am not even exaggerating, and that's probably the worst part of all of this. So, the Supergirl movie was certainly something. First and foremost, I'm sure you've heard some of the drama around this, and thank you very much, Angry Joe, for giving us all a reaction image that I think will be quite famous for quite some time, as the sheer look of abject, not even just disappointment on his face, because it's not even that he looks like he's disappointed by the movie. It's like he understands that he's now going to be dragged through the mud for having had such a demonstrably wrong opinion about the movie, and that he also knows that he can't actually try to pretend he didn't have a very bad time at the movie as well. So thank you, Angry Joe, very much for that. As yet again, the entire discourse around this was like, oh, how can you tell it's going to be a bad movie, you silly chuds, you haven't even watched it yet. You must wait and watch the movie. Only then may you judge the Neanderthal woman and her ways. As it turns out, we don't actually have to watch the movie first. Just the marketing surrounding it, the trailers, the pick of main character, which is, oh my God. Miley Alcock is not a good Supergirl, in case somebody was somehow confused by that. There's a couple shots in the movie in particular where you get a nice side profile of her, and I swear to God, she looks exactly textbook like the Neanderthals I had in my literally school book growing up. That's what she looks like. She looks like a Neanderthal. And some of the costumes they put on in particular are fucking god awful. Holy shit. She gets sent to Earth in, you know those, like, space outfits they had to represent spacesuits in, like, the 60s or 70s? She comes to Earth in one of those, encapsulated in a golf ball, by the way. Literally just a golf ball. No seats inside of it, no bed, oh, as I hit the microphone, no apparent food or supplies or anything, and she's been traveling for months through space, somehow living in a golf ball. And I need to take a few steps back, because if I start talking about all of the things that doesn't make sense in this movie, we will be here for the rest of today. So, right. Starting at the beginning, the most important part, okay? The primary reason why this was such an unpleasant movie to sit through, and it was boring, oh my God. You know when you wake up in the morning and you have to, like, wipe your eyes because of all of the, like, tired, drooly droplets coming out of them? That was this movie. It was so empty. There were 7 people in total. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't count. There were 7 people in the movie theater, so I could lean back and just put my legs up on the seat in front of me. Just fucking completely empty. And I've never in my life been in danger of falling asleep at a movie before. This was the first time I had ever thought to myself, maybe if I just close my eyes, it'll be over. And a big part of the reason for this is because the movie fails on a cataclysmic level to get you invested in anything. Like, fuck Supergirl, in any of it. In the characters, in the story, in the fucking dog, in the random girl they introduce for reasons or another to be like, hey, here's a little girl, don't you feel bad for her? Her family was murdered, don't you know? In the opening cinematic. Because, well, okay, oh god, I'm gonna go off on so many tangents. Anyways, the point I'm trying to labor myself towards here is that they must have left a good, I don't fucking know, 30-40% of this movie on the cutting room floor. It feels like they sliced away half of it, because presumably its original runtime at about 2 hours and 30 minutes would have left significant quantities of the audience in a catatonic state. They would just have been lying there in their chairs, slowly dying, much like the fucking dog, which sadly survives, I'm afraid to say. Anyways, like, okay, because there's scenes that clearly don't cut together. There's one scene where Supergirl is saving a bunch of children from the all-male misogynist space pirates that abduct little girls to have sex with them. Fuck me. Anyways, there's a scene where Kara is rescuing these little girls, and they're dying. Like, they're burning to death. They're being chased through a city by pirates. She isn't so much trying to rescue them as she coincidentally cuts loose the cages that they're carried in, which then plummets like 30 feet and would have murdered most of the children anyway, but details. Let's not get too wrapped up in reality here, because that is the poison of this movie. So, she rescues these girls, kind of, and is as in that they're fleeing the pirates, and suddenly, in one scene, you see her pushing like a girl out of the way and going, "That's the last of them, now run!" And you know that there should have been a scene preceding this where Kara would fly around at super speed and rescuing the children, but they just didn't put that scene in, and so they go from fleeing children in panic to Kara having rescued them all like that. And this is a constant symptom throughout the entire movie, where they clearly, they were planning on explaining some of this nonsense, but it was obviously so unfathomably boring that they had to cut out the overwhelming majority of it. And, God, Krypton, this is going to be all over the place, right? This is going to be an all over the place review. So, Krypton they have Krypton here, and right, so the whole story about Superman being sent to Earth to enslave humanity and fuck our women, that's still in there for some goddamn reason. That's still in there, yes. Kal-El's original purpose was to go to Earth, subjugate us with his superpowers, and then bang our women to reproduce. That's still in the movie. But, you see, Kal-El's father was a complete idiot, you know, like any ethno-nationalist, neo-Nazi, fascist, Kryptonian invader, I do suppose. Instead, Kara's dad was a real genius. He had invented a beam of light that could tear Argos, the Kryptonian city, free from the surface, creating a force field both capable of maintaining their lives indefinitely in the cold void of space and save the entire city. He apparently didn't think of implementing this anywhere else because, you know, they didn't have time, I suppose. So, the city lifts off. Kara isn't even born when Krypton is destroyed. Instead, she grows up on Argos, which you might then think, okay, well, why did they shoot her off into space then? You see, kryptonite is discovered. And kryptonite isn't pieces of Krypton anymore. It's a crystalline entity in the soil of Krypton, which the kryptonite populace had never discovered before. So Krypton created a hyper-advanced super-alien civilization without ever putting a fucking shovel into the ground. Anyways, now that kryptonite, the mystical crystal, has emerged, it starts killing all of the Kryptonians. Yes, has nothing to do with the yellow sun or anything like that. It just starts killing all of the Kryptonians because it's green. I'm not fucking with you. It's literally the color green. It's not kryptonite. Fucking God help me. It's not kryptonite that's the Superman's weakness anymore. It is literally the color green that hurts him. So, the entire population is poisoned and dying except for Kara, that somehow has developed an immunity to kryptonite. Fuck knows. Anyways, upon this moment then, her father decides, well, shit, my original plan was clearly retarded. I'm gonna send you off as well to follow your cousin to fuck the humans into submission. Now get in the golf ball and be on your way. He doesn't build any more golf balls, nor do he send anyone with her, and there's plenty of room in the spacecraft. You could fit a dozen people in there, easy peasy. But he doesn't send anyone else to take care of Kara. He just shoots her off into space, along with her random dog, which he picked up in the preceding scene, feasting on what looked like a corpse and or garbage. Anyways, and I literally do mean she is allergic to the color green, by the way, because later on in the movie, there is a green sun. Now, kryptonite isn't a sun thing. It is a specific metal. It used to be the remnant parts of Krypton. And in this story, it's supposed to be a mineral, a particular crystal found inside of the crust of Krypton. But now, there is a kryptonite sun, which has the exact same effect on her as kryptonite, except it doesn't kill her. It doesn't kill her, it just weakens her for it. She is exposed to a fucking kryptonite sun for an entire day. 12 hours. Fine. You know, she's a bit weak, you know, she's a bit green around the gills, and like, oh, I do feel ever so faint. But no care, no medical aid or anything. She gets dragged to a cave, and that's all that's required, apparently. And she actually has more or less developed just an immunity against kryptonite. She then later on gets shot by kryptonite darts because in this universe where there are precisely 2 Kryptonians in total, and even the Kryptonians themselves didn't know about kryptonite, a random space pirate is like, I get it. The Kryptonian's weakness is kryptonite. And he has a weapon pre-made to deal with Kryptonians. Because of fucking course he does. Which he only uses once, mind you. He shoots Kara with it, realizes, fuck, it works. And then he puts it away and never uses it again. Oh my god. So fuck. I don't. The number of plot holes in this fucking movie, it's actually maddening. It's just fucking unending. And it's the most basic stuff. Okay, so the entire plot focuses around Crypto, the dog. Oh god, I hate that fucking dog. I hate that fucking dog. It ruins so many stories. Anyways, Crypto and Kara is off on an intergalactic bender because she's upsetty spaghetti that home has gone kablooey. I mean, she's had her entire life to deal with this, but, you know, she's still very upset about it. So, she goes to a planet where she gets her spacecraft hijacked by a man with many piercings in his face. The man then shoots her dog because the dog is retarded, and the dog still believes it has superpowers. So it sees a giant bandit and goes like, ruff, and he just shoots it with a poison dart. So, the poison dart obviously comes with a very convenient 3-day timer. Because of course it fucking does. So she has to go off and search for this guy, right? Now, you might think he's fucking Crypto, right? You put a fishbowl on the dog's head, put him in a spacesuit, you zip up into space, and he'll be right as rain within 5 minutes, right? In fact, there is a... Listen, chat. You need to trust me when I tell you this. So... there is a bus on the planet that goes to a yellow sun. There is a fucking bus. To fix this entire problem, all Kara had to do was pick up the dog, carry the dog to the bus, put it down on a seat, and go like, "Don't worry, stupid dog, we'll be at the yellow sun in about, 10 minutes, if even that." And the entire plot would have been solved. And the reason they give, the half-ass reason for why they couldn't do that is because some fish lady goes like, "Oh, you can't move him. You see, the poison is plot dependent. If you move, the poison gets worse. If you put the dog on the bus, the dog's just gonna die." Literally, it's like if you were in a video game and you were given a very specific instruction and you decided like, well, okay, why don't I just go outside of the, like, mission failed. Fuck me. And, okay, we'll just swallow that, right? Like the 2-ton gorilla cock that it fucking is. We'll just deep throat that bitch. You can't move the dog because if the dog moves, the dog dies because of the specific poison, right? Okay, fine. Fuck it, who cares? Then, a couple scenes later, Kara is made to drink the same poison, okay? The same fucking poison. Under a yellow sun, mind you. So she's already super. And this somehow affects her more than the kryptonite does. And she then needs to fight off a band of pirates running around, fighting, punching, jumping, doing all of that nonsense. You know, moving, and moving will kill you with this particular poison. Nothing. She's just fucking fine. Why? Well, because she manages to vomit some of it up, I guess. Fuck me. The entire, the fucking dog, the fuck that fucking dog. The dog is irrelevant. The dog doesn't need to be there. The dog has no point in this story. It has no purpose. It has no place. It shouldn't fucking be there, as the dog is now the only reason that Kara chooses to rescue and help the little girl whose family has been murdered. Instead of Kara, Supergirl, going, "Oh, yeah, my entire family's dead too, so I can sympathize with you. I should probably help you find your parents' murderer, shouldn't I?" Instead, the only reason she helps her is because that fucking dog has been poisoned. Oh, help me. Anyways. Oh, and God, the young... Okay, so... the young girl's family as well. There's a young girl. I don't think she's even a character. There's a mixed race family, you see, in the middle of nowhere that makes swords. The best swords you have ever seen. The miracle swords known across the galaxy. They live out in a little shed. Unprotected, alone from everywhere, and a bunch of pirates show up to loot their incredible, unbelievable, fantastical, legendary weapons. Apparently nobody else had ever thought about that. No, nobody else had fucking thought about that. Now, the family home does have an anti-ship device that instantaneously evaporates the bandits' entire ship, but only after they allow the pirates to get off the ship, get inside their house, and kill their youngest son, who's jerking off to TikTok videos. Again, I wish I was fucking lying to you. Anyways, once the pirate has killed his son, then the guy goes, "Oh, you bastard," and blows up their ship by pressing a button. He could have just killed them at any point, but here's the kicker. This family of legendary weaponsmiths they're pacifists. Their daughter then decides to try and get revenge for her fucking retarded father, and swears to go kill the guy who killed her parents. Kara doesn't want to help her. She only helps her after her dog has been tranked, and she refuses to save her dogs the most functional way it is. And this then goes on to, like, silly girl, you can't stab the man who killed your entire family. And the girl's like, why? Why the fuck can I not kill him? What possible reason do I have not to kill the man? And Kara's like, well, you can't do that. You'll be upset about it. That man will haunt you forever. There'll be no catharsis in murdering your entire family's murderer. That won't make you feel any better or anything. And at the end of this, when she's Disney speeched this child into not taking revenge on the pirate, right thereafter, Kara walks over, takes the little girl's sword, and fucking decapitates the bitch. It's just... She just kills his ass. You can't kill people, little girl. It'll stay with you forever. Whack! Fucking hell. And granted, it would have been... It would have been bad enough if she hadn't, because this guy is obviously evil. He's obviously pure fucking nutty putty. He needs to die. And I was sitting there in the cinema at the time wondering, like... well, they're gonna have to kill him. He's obviously evil. The movie's gonna have to come up with some way to fucking murder his ass. A tree falls, a piece of debris lands on him, he drowns himself. He needs to die somehow, right? What absolute idiotic contrivance are they gonna come up to end his ass? And Supergirl just fucking kills him with a sword. Which, by the way, okay, right. Also, I want to point out, you would think that a pirate wouldn't be particularly dangerous to Supergirl, but of course not. They're just super enough to be able to take on Supergirl in close quarters combat. She fucking lasers his ass in the chest. She punches him full force and nothing. But then she grabs a sharp-pointed piece of metal and effortlessly kills him. You know, all of this idiotic nonsense on Earth with Lex Luthor, like, I'm going to come up with some contrived plan to send Superman to the Shadow Zone, or make kryptonite or giant robots. No, Lex, listen to me. I know this sounds fucking retarded, because it is, but have you ever just tried stabbing him? Just fucking stab him. It works. Right. So that happened, and again, it would have been almost ridiculous if Supergirl hadn't killed him as well. I'll defend the movie on that, because she had already been slaughtering these fucking pirates up until that point, beating them to death, drowning them, blasting them with laser vision. She'd already been killing them by the fucking dozens. So for her to, like the entire idea that she has these morals that applies to this girl that has nothing to do with her whatsoever. It's the most classical kind of feminine tropes you've ever seen. And another part as well. Okay, so there are other young girls, right? Because you might think, oh, well, you know, she's already damaged. She's just trying to protect the young girl from making the same mistakes that she has, right? Because she's miserable and she doesn't want to have the young girl be miserable. Not to mention, okay, right. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, so Kara is miserable. Kara is like, I'm really upset that Krypton got... and then my father sent me off into space by my fucking self in this enormous space capsule that could have housed half my fucking family, if not indeed in its entirety, with only a fucking dog. I'm really angry, and I don't want you to be angry too, little girl, and so you can't take revenge. Okay, firstly, that has nothing to do with one another. But secondly, then the child brides that are being abducted by the misogynist child fucking space aliens, modern day. Then another one of the child brides mounts a harpoon gun and shoots a fucking whale hunting harpoon straight through one of the pirates, like ka-chunk. And you know what Supergirl does? Does she look at that child and go, oh, no, that child will remember that man forever, that man she impaled with the fucking whale harpoon. No, she smiles and goes, good on you, little black child, for murdering that pirate. Only then to fly off after the Asian child and go, no, you can't kill that pirate. He's mine. It's a fucking movie. Okay, is there anything good about the movie? Yes, there is actually something good about the movie. Okay, there's two things good about the movie. First, David Cornsweet is actually, I am more and more beginning to like him as Superman. The first Superman movie that he was in had some obvious flaws, particularly with pacing and storytelling, and the fact that James Gunn clearly doesn't want to fucking tell a superhero story. But I maintain that the Superman movie wasn't particularly bad. I actually quite enjoyed it, and I still think it was a very good Superman movie. This is the exact opposite of that on every level. But David Cornsweet, and that's what I'm going to call him from now on forever, he actually does make for a pretty good Superman. He comes across he feels correct, he feels like the paternal big brother, all of that is very well done. And Lobo, Jason Momoa as Lobo, also does very well. He's not in the movie much, he's maybe got, 10 minutes of screen time total, which isn't terrible. And the problem is, it is blindingly obvious that James Gunn wanted to make a movie about Lobo. That was like the entire feel of the movie, the thrust of the morality of it, the young girl's sidekick that he needs to protect from his own violence, etc. It is obviously a Lobo movie. If you take Miley Alcock and yeet her into the fucking sun and replace her entire character in this film with Lobo, suddenly everything makes sense. Suddenly, the entire plot makes sense again. He's on a bender across the galaxy, drinking himself stupid. He has no morals or ideas. Then he sees a young girl who is like, you should do better, sir. And then Disney speeches him into fucking submission, which eventually ends with him stopping the girl from killing the big bad guy, grabbing her weapon like, you shouldn't be like me, and then sends her away, after which he fucking hacks the guy to pieces. Everything makes sense if you replace Miley Alcock's Neanderthal fucking face with that of Lobo. But supposedly, I guess James Gunn, the man who is now making a fucking crypto TV series, and is making a spin-off TV show based on Jimmy Olsen and Gorilla Grodd, decided that nobody wanted to watch a Lobo movie. And so he needed to make a Supergirl movie, but he clearly didn't want to make a Supergirl movie. There was not a fucking cell in that man that wanted to make a Supergirl movie. I don't know, maybe he was forced to, maybe somebody held his dog hostage, I don't fucking know, but he didn't want to make this movie. He obviously did not want to make this movie. He wanted to make Lobo, decided not to, and then didn't rewrite the script at all. Because, again, it makes so much more sense if you assume that Supergirl had a supporting role in this movie. If Lobo happened across a Supergirl spiraling out of control, that would make infinitely more sense as well. And even the way the entire movie is shot and set up. So, okay. Right. So the pirates, they know what a Kryptonian is. There's only 2 of them in the galaxy. None of them have ever met a Kryptonian before, nor do most of them probably even know what Krypton fucking is, but they know what a Kryptonian is, they know they have superpowers, and they know what their weaknesses are, right? That's why they go to a planet that has 1 yellow sun and 1 green sun, because remember, in this universe, the color green alone is what Carrie is actually allergic to, not the mystical mineral that is kryptonite, just the color green. So, obviously, if you're hiding from a Kryptonian in a ship that can teleport, by the way, you just stay on the green side of the planet, right? And you'd be totally safe from her for eternity. You just chill on the green side, she can do nothing to you, and you can teleport back and forth to whatever world or place you want to be. Easy peasy, no issues. So, of course then, instead of doing that, they purposefully drive their ship onto the yellow sun part of the planet so that Supergirl can recover and beat the fucking shit out of all of them. Fucking movie. This fucking movie is one of I'm so all of the bored, frustrated energy I had watching the movie is finally coming out. Is now pouring out. And I'm very happy to get it out there, even as I am working myself up into a lathered sweat right now and becoming ever more uncomfortable in my heated room. Anyways, right. Having complained adequately about that, we could go on. There's more, but right, let's get to a slightly more analytical part of all of this before I do a little Q&A, I guess, if you have any questions. Why the fuck would you have questions? Right, so James Gunn obviously he's just trying to sabotage DC at this point. He knows he's on the way out. He knows he hasn't got long. He knows he's literally only protected by a fragile little paper treaties with Warner Brothers. He has been actively attempting to destroy the DC. Not since Superman. I genuinely think that either Superman was written by somebody who actually liked Superman and wanted to do Superman, and James Gunn kind of had to go along with it, even whilst he was actively trying to sabotage the movie via marketing. But now he has entered into full sabotage mode, where I think he believes that if he makes one side of the DCU utter fucking garbage, then he can have his own side, which is focused around crypto and creature commandos, look better by comparison, and therefore keep his job? I don't honestly know. Alternatively, he's just trying to kill as many people at WB as humanly possible. But this movie was handed over to a scriptwriter who had literally done nothing before this. They had written theatre plays, and then they were given the keys to Supergirl. Clearly, James Gunn himself wanted a Lobo movie, and he made a Lobo movie. This is a Lobo... I'm feeling like a child having a tantrum. This is a Lobo movie, and then they cast Supergirl in it, because... I don't know. I'm trying to put myself in James Gunn's shoes here. Because they showed her in the outro sequence of Superman, and so it was expected of them. That's about all I've got to come up with on that account. Then they decided to cast Miley Alcock in it to stick it to the men, no doubt, as the entire story as well is, of course, like anti-male. All of the villains are straight white males. Obviously, it's the current year. What else do you fucking suspect? I actually like the villain. Okay, I like the villain. The villain is that kind of like Joker-esque, crazy, the kind of guy who's obviously evil and is just loving being evil. And I do like that. He's got his face covered in piercings, and at one point, Kara headbutts him with all of his piercings under a yellow sun, and she bleeds because of it, because presumably the piercings are made out of fucking tungsten or something, God only knows. But don't worry about it. The scars and the wounds are gone in the next scene, because presumably they shot that one scene, and then somebody was like, isn't she invulnerable? She's under a yellow sun. Why is this affecting her? And everybody was like, fuck, Scrub that in the next scenes. Take away the blood real quick. And then they forgot to cut out that scene. I can only assume. I was supposed to analyze the movie. Fuck. Moving back. This is going to be a fucking enormous economic disaster. Already the numbers are apparently coming back very weak. I've heard rumors about $20 million odd for the opening weekend, which is going to be a fucking disaster, if true. I can believe it. The cinema was basically empty. There were a grand total of like 7 people there, all of which... I have never seen so many people get out and walk out of the cinema before, and you gotta understand, we Norwegians do not do that. We do not do that. We consider going out to take a piss during a movie to be virtually unheard of. It is rude to the movie, to everybody watching. You are imposing upon everybody else because you have to go take a piss. You will sit there until your fucking bladder explodes before you slowly, hunched, crawl your way out of the cinema like, oh God, I hope I'm not getting into anybody's way. Pretty much every motherfucker in that cinema was visiting the toilet during this screening. I believe specifically to get away from the movie and splash some water in their face to fucking wake up. And there's not even any, there's no setup either. Like, you'd think, okay, right, so this obviously didn't have any reason to exist, so they must be setting something else up, right? There's gotta be... This has got to be like, oh, hey, jingly keys, look at that thing, get excited for the next product kind of movie. Sort of like Superman was by introducing Supergirl at the end, right? No. There's no post-credit scene. They don't introduce anybody new other than Lobo. She returns to Earth, and she's like, yes, this is home now. I fucking killed the shitting, cockfuckling shit out of that fucking pirate. I felt his blood run down my hands, and now I am an Earthling. Calm down, Miley. Calm the fuck down. She comes down there, has a little talk with Kal-El, who's like, was it a rough trip, sister? Did you brutally fucking murder anybody? Commit any acts of moral reprehensitude, perhaps? Did you make yourself look like a massive threat to civilization at large? Like a fucking supervillain I should probably be punching? Well, you know, Kal-El, it was just a normal day. By the way, the dog is destroying your kitchen again because it's a superpowered canine, which is a fucking stupid idea. No setup, no nothing. It just... And I almost feel like there must have been a setup, because again, there's so much of this movie that just isn't there. Like, they've cut out so much of the movie that I'm sitting there wondering, what was supposed to be there? What kind of cameo did you cut out? What lead-up did you remove for the purpose of not making people literally commit seppuku in the movie theater? And hey, thank you, by the way. I'm grateful for that as well, but... It doesn't even, like, have a good payoff. Like, eventually, Miley puts on the Supergirl suit to finally give you a shot of her in the suit. It even does the whole triumphant reveal. She flies up to the sun and goes like, look at me, I'm colorful. And then proceeds to brutally butcher a bunch of people in her super suit. And the best part is, okay, so... obviously, they have to take a couple of shots at Superman, like, why are you wearing your underwear on the outside? What are you, retarded? Because we can't play anything seriously ever. But she's given the supersuit by Kal-El, who's like, I know it's colorful, because even Superman has to take a shit at the suit his mother made for him, and goes, but it's to tell everybody that we're the good guys. After which Kara puts on the suit and kills an entire shipload of people. Because she's the good guy. And hey, I'm... Like, see, here's the thing as well, right? I made an entire video on this, on the principle of not killing for Batman, right? How there is absolutely moral justification for fucking beating the Joker to death with a dead child. No problems whatsoever. The Joker should be executed. He should be murdered via the most sadistic way possible. We're talking corkscrew up the ass until it pokes out of his fucking eyeballs, okay? However, the point of a superhero is always to go beyond what is reasonable or normally expected to be possible. A superhero always finds a way beyond that to go to the moral extremes of goodness. That is the point and purpose of a superhero. That is what differentiates a superhero from a mere hero, like the Punisher. And one can then debate the infinite morality of whether or not more or less suffering is created by not killing the Joker and so on. But a superhero is intended to rise beyond. With great power comes great responsibility. Miley Alcock's Supergirl is the exact inverse of that. With great power comes absolutely no responsibility whatsoever, no moral code, no obligations, no nothing. It is literally just an excuse to go around the galaxy beating the fuck out of people. Oh, and by the way, so she has no problems at all slaughtering the male pirates by the dozens, drowning them, beating them to death, lasering them, stabbing them. None of that's a problem. However, she earlier in the movie runs across female pirates. You want to guess if she kills those? You want to fucking guess if she kills the female pirates? I don't need to tell you the answer to that question because you already know. There's nothing in this movie, and again, like, if you were making a Lobo movie, right? If you were making a Lobo movie, all of this would make perfect sense. Because this is Lobo's morality. Lobo's morality is, I'm a mercenary, I'm a bounty hunter, you give me money, I go out to do that. And then there might be a spark of goodness every now and then to kind of pull me into the sort of side path of an anti-hero for a moment, you know? That makes perfect sense, but not in a Supergirl movie. Supergirl is absolutely everything she should never be in this movie. And God, I mean, it feels like sabotage. It feels like sabotage because that's the only reasonable explanation for why this movie was made. It's a terrible fucking movie. It's unbelievably boring. It gives you no reason to connect to any of the characters, and even the one reason you are given, like, oh, we must protect this young child from becoming a murderer by getting revenge on her family. We have to protect her innocence. Okay, that's something. But then, of course, at the end of the movie, so the little child is returned to her homeworld, she's taken in by her mystical foster mother aunt who is like, oh, child, I had no idea your parents were dead. Come stay with me. After which, the child looks up at Miley Alcock, who is like, will you be okay? Will you be fine, my little child that I protected from becoming a murderer? And she goes like, yes, Miley, I'll be fine. What are you going to do now, asks Miley. I think I'm going to be a fucking swordsmith like my dad. Fuck me. The movie is fuck me. I don't understand. I do not understand why this movie was made. I don't know why it's being played in the cinemas. I don't know why it was written. I can't detect any reason behind it, any motive. It certainly isn't fucking money, and sure shit isn't fame. It's clearly not intended to continue the legacy of Supergirl because they've completely fucking annihilated it here. To set up a Lobo spin-off? Maybe this was Lobo's soft introduction to the cinematic universe? You know what? That's probably the only thing that makes sense in my mind, that James Gunn and the people at WB looked at Lobo as a character and thought, well, nobody knows about him. Nobody's gonna go watch a... Like, listen, whatever. If we market a Lobo movie as nothing but pure high-octane action with Jason Momoa beating the shit out of space pirates, flying through space on a jet bike, nobody's gonna watch that. It's only the coolest thing fucking ever. No. We can't have that. They would have terribly negative word of mouth. No. But I do see what you're saying. We do want to give Jason Momoa some more money. After all, he is the man behind our biggest hit ever, Aquaman, which I still do not how the fuck was that their biggest hit? Aquaman? I don't understand. But anyways, okay. But we do get it. We want to put Jason Momoa in more movies, obviously. So we've got to set him up. Let's write a Lobo movie, and then we'll put Supergirl in the role instead. And he can be kind of like a fun side character who comes in and smokes a cigar and goes like, hello, I'm that character that WB doesn't think anybody would like to watch. Yeah, that is unironically the only reason I can come up with that makes any sort of sense whatsoever. That this was a setup for a Lobo spin-off. That's literally the only reason that makes any sort of sense here. Yeah. That's my analysis. It's a shit movie, it's unfathomably boring, it has no reason for existence whatsoever. Miley Alcock is the single worst Supergirl to have ever existed, and hopefully, God willing, this will bury Supergirl for the next 30 years, until her next iteration will be an 18-year-old perky-ass blonde in a fucking miniskirt so short you can see her fucking butt cheeks clap every time she walks, because that's the only way this franchise ever gets resurrected ever again. Right. Questions. Yes, I'm finished complaining now. Watch Citizen Vigilante instead. You know what? Unironically, I had more fun with Citizen Vigilante than I did this. Because at least Citizen Vigilante, you could see how you could fix that movie fairly easily, honestly. Citizen Vigilante, if it was cut by a person who had ever watched a movie before in their life, would actually be a decent little movie, honestly. I think that would actually work, yes. Question, was it any good? No. Does Lobo look cool in it, at least? Yes. I feel like Jason Momoa is like a 9 out of 10 Lobo. Like, he could use a bit more, like they could pad his shoulders a little bit more, a tiny bit, like, but he's like a 9 out of 10 Lobo. He is damn near perfect for the role. And I want to point out as well, you know, when females takes on the roles of aliens, like Black Girl Starfire in that awful Teen Titans TV series, for example, they didn't go, listen, she's a fucking alien, we're gonna have to paint your ass orange. And you go, like, no, that would be inconvenient. I'm just gonna be a strong black girl. But Lobo, they paint his fucking ass head to toe in white paint. They're probably slathering it on with a, not even a paintbrush, just a pressurized hose somewhere, like, because that's how they treat men, of course. And he looks the part. He does a great Lobo. He does. One question, how much psychic damage did you take? A fair old bit. Honestly, it was just a fucking bad movie. It was just a really bad movie. And again, it obviously wasn't intended to be a Supergirl movie, most importantly. Could Uwe Boll make a successful Lobo? No, he couldn't. Like, just... Uwe Boll has produced a sharp piece of political commentary, but he hasn't the foggiest idea how to make a film. Absolutely not the faintest. Zlopsen Doppelganger. You and V need to gang up on Simon, convince him to GTF out the UK until they fuck themselves. He can literally do more damage for the UK if he goes somewhere they won't arrest him for speech and take his tax money away from the government that hates him. Listen, I respect and value his willingness to stay in the country that wishes to bend him over a barrel and sodomize him till he cries. There is a certain strength of spirit in accepting the inevitability of a cold cast iron cock being rammed up your sphincter like that. Yeah, Qatar. Place your bets on when Disney pulls the Hail Mary of crossing DC and Star Wars universe to try and save themselves. If anything, they're just gonna reboot DC now. Not DC, Star Wars. Well, they're obviously gonna reboot DC as well. You know, I feel like we're kind of heading towards an era of the reboot now, right? Where DC obviously is going to reboot itself because James Gunn is simply just trying to do as much damage as he can for the moment until Paramount takes over and then hires a real-life fucking hitman to come to his house and strangle him with a fucking used sock, which will be getting off rather easy, frankly, considering. He's just trying to waste as much money as conceivably possible at this point, for reasons of sheer malice, one must assume. So DC is getting rebooted. Star Wars obviously is getting rebooted. And honestly, like, the best thing Disney can do right now is just lay it dead for a good 5, 6, maybe 10 years, and then revisit it once everybody has forgotten what a fucking Yoda is. Nobles, these movies are to influence culture, not entertain. Well, in that case, I think it did a bang-up job, because I think this movie has done more to radicalize the population than Clarkson's fucking farm has, which is rather impressive, honestly. Did you get a foreskin mug? No, we don't sell those in Norway. We don't have popcorn buckets here. They don't exist. We don't get that software update at all. DC is Warner Brothers, Marvel is Disney. I know, but listen, we're just a general reboot universe, okay? Don Petroni, what is his name again? I have no idea. Whose name? What's name? What? And Max Swordsman, I'm sorry if you're suffering at the hand of slop. I'm sorry too. I too regret my life decisions. And hello, porkers. Your Honor, DC has been killed 5 times over at this point. Yes, with every single fucking iteration. DC, okay, there's many franchises that have, like, occasional dips in quality, or that launches a series that obviously doesn't look as the preceding one. DC is probably the only franchise that has had a firm downwards trend the entire time, from the very inception of the animated series until today. It's kind of remarkable, like the inevitability of gravity made manifest in fucking cartoon and real-life form. Zlopsen Doppelganger, hit me up on Discord. Archibald, I've got some good Neanderthal hentai. I don't want to know you. God damn it! I don't want to see any Miley Alcock porn. Right after this, I'm heading straight to Rule 34 to find some of the 90s Supergirl. Okay, the one from the animated series, because that is probably still the best Supergirl ever made, and it's a fucking tragedy that she was in, like, what, 3 episodes, I think? If even that. Chickador, you just don't understand all the female trauma in the movie. Hope you are happy with trauma now. I've had enough trauma for a while. I'm good. I'm good on trauma. Don't need it anymore. Don't need a refill. Don't need it. Barbarians are us. In the year of our Lord 2026, Supergirl is a raging psychopath. In 2027, maybe women in Hollywood will ask kindly before deleting men in the dozen. One can only hope. You know what? You know the scene from Miss Marvel? The one where she gets into an argument with, like, a bunch of biker gangers or something, and she just fucking yeets one of them for no fucking reason. This entire movie is basically that one scene spun out to an hour and 48 minutes of just relentless, seemingly pointless violence against every male-presenting creature she comes across. Nolly, behold, Martian Manhunter, more powerful than even Superman himself. With his psychic powers, his shapeshifting, his raw might of green. His ability to be green would have defeated Superman quite easily, yes. Yes. Or Power Girl. Okay, right. The only right. So there's two things here. One, there's currently a slew of animated movies coming out, including Nightfall, which I keep hitting the microphone because I keep believing me. My nose is itching because I had the fucking window open and now all of the grass pollen is infiltrating my house. Nightfall, the animated movie, is coming up, and it looks great. Like, DC has consistently had an excellent animations department, a genuinely excellent animations department, which they underfund, don't market at all, and give no attention to. They are like the beaten stepchild of DC Studios, given no love, no attention, no nothing whatsoever. And a large part of this is because in Western culture, we view the animated medium as lesser than live action. It's not as serious, it's not as prestigious. If you want to make a real movie, you have to have actors in it, real people and all that nonsense. And that's why the animated movies have never been given any attention whatsoever. And to be fair, that's probably for a good reason, because even if you did make a proper Superman movie and animated, put it on the big screens on cinemas, nobody would watch it, because the majority opinion in the West is that that's just not a serious movie. It's a cartoon, something for children. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done before that perception is fixed, but it needs to be fixed, because the DC animated movies are infinitely better than their live-action shit. And if given half the budget, would do so much more. I mean, imagine a timeline where Disney hadn't murdered Treasure Planet, where Western animation had remained at its peak, where we would have had Superman movies in animation styles the equal of El Dorado or Treasure Planet, or even better. They would have looked amazing, with far better stories, much better writing, and actually comic book accurate characters. But again, that's not going to happen anytime soon. That's going to require a major, massive culture shift, which I don't know if DC has the ability, the capacity, or the sheer, intention and determination to carry out. So the alternative is Power Girl, right? There is one good Power Girl comic. She had one good run, and it was written by a married couple, I believe, that just loved Power Girl, and they gave her a fantastic series that failed almost immediately because comics just don't sell anymore. So it only got like 12 issues, I think, but it was a damn good Power Girl comic. Take that. Take Sydney Sweeney, put fucking implants in her suit to give her the literally biggest bazongas you can physically make without destroying the suit, and then just literally make a version of that. Oh, and give her stilts too, because Supergirl needs to be like 6'4", okay? You will unify both spectrums. The left wing will look at that and go like, safe horny, or even better, somebody other than, like, Sydney Sweeney will bring in the right wing, and the big Dommy Monomy vibes owning the men will bring in the left wing. And you will have the first DC success movie ever, basically. All the way back to the original Superman, I guess. That's all you need to do, but they're not going to because, well, it's James Gunn, and he is actively hating on good ideas. Marine Alva, Robo Chicken did a better version involving a kryptonite pulse rod on Tuesday. I felt like I'm making a list of all the words that cannot be in a super chat. Max Robe, 2 weeks till That Isn't Helen Day. Helen? Oh my god, the Odyssey. Fuck, that's coming out soon too. God, why? 2 weeks. Hold on. Am I out of the country by then? I fucking hope so. I'm not, am I? Enigma, the part about stealing girls was awkwardly timed. Listen, okay? You're an all-male species of rape fanatical space pirates. You're gonna have to steal girls, all right? It's just how it works. And you're gonna leave the women alone, by the way. Okay, so that's the other part of this, too. The evil space pirates that steal women to procreate, one, they don't actually seem to be fucking them or anything, because none of them are pregnant, and they don't seem to actually be marrying them or, you know, doing anything to them. They're just stealing them, kind of to collect them like Pokemon cards, but they leave the women alone on the planet. There is a woman who, one of the people who set up Supergirl, you know, a black chick in her 30s or something, and apparently the people had come by, looked at her and go like, too old, and immediately snatched the 6-year-old girl instead. It's the closest thing the movie comes to a relevant social commentary on today, I guess. The only thing that really matters is a nice big star of can't say that on YouTube, stapled on their spaceship. So, Loxon, you misunderstood. Hot Neanderthal hentai. Not hentai. Supergirl actors. Well, thank you for clarifying. I appreciate the attempt. Right. The DCV Titan. The Helen that docked 1,000 ships. We're not leaving Greece for this. We're staying fucking here. In fact, it would be like they'd be good if there's a prequel cutscene of Menelaus needing to be convinced to go after his wife. You know, like he's like, no, I'm pretty happy that Paris decided to take her. Have you any idea how many hot slave girls I'm fucking on a daily basis? We can just say that we had a child before marriage and make a heir out of that. It's no big deal. In fact, if anything, why the fuck did Paris steal her? And then, oh, was it Menelaus? No, okay. Comes in and goes like, no, he did that to insult you. Oh, yes, he cuckolded me. That's the reason why I need to go take her back and kill her. Yeah, it would be funny. That would be good. If the primary motivation for getting Helen back is to just beat her to death with a stick. You can get behind that. Anyways, I'm going to keep this brief by simply saying that that is my review of Supergirl. Thank you for letting me vent. I needed that. I feel better. I'm going to go and take a long shower now to cleanse this memory from my soul. Or maybe just violently defecate for the next half hour. Whichever purges my system of this movie faster. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. I've been Arch. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you all again tomorrow, where we'll have something better storytelling related to talk about. Have a good night, chat. Don't watch this movie. Trust me. Even if you think it'll be funny to suffer, the pain will be more than you had possibly considered and or expected.